G'day guys, and firstly, thank you to everyone who entered this year's Towns Bowie Build-Off. It was an amazing showing for, especially given the restrictions on this year's Build-Off, unlike other years. So thank you so much to everyone who entered and who gave it a shot. I'm really glad to see so many entries, especially without a prize pool as normal this year. So on another note, I did actually manage to get a Bowie built this year for the build-off. Every year I keep intending to join in the build-off, and unfortunately I don't make it in time. But this year I did actually manage to get one built, and there will be two videos associated with this build in the coming few days. For a little bit of a rundown, it is a very, very old rasp, double-ended rasp, a crescent wrench, literally from Crescent, I believe, an old piece, two old pieces of Jarrah from the building that I actually live in now, and a scrap offcut of a piece of CNC milled, I believe it was Tasmanian oak, and then a rasp butt cap, and it is also through tang. The only thing that wasn't scrapped, like everything else was scrapped, the only thing that wasn't scrapped on this is the liners. I've got black and red fiber liners. I'll get some better shots in the videos to come, but yeah, so managed to get a Bowie built this year. I'm actually very pleased with it. It came out really nice. But let's get to all of the other buoys that got built for this year's competition. First, a couple of honourable mentions. The first is Malachi Haynes on the left, who unfortunately had a setback and could not complete, but did send in a finished buoy-ish. And the other two were supplied by people who did not provide their contact information or any details about themselves when they submitted their entries. So here are the three honourables. Next we have Liam Thomas from Simple Little Knives with a saw blade bladed Bowie knife, and I believe purple Juma scales, although I'm not sure for sure. And the mild steel guard, a beautiful clean concept. Next we have Jesse Dunn with a jeans micarta handle, and I believe a saw blade as well. Beautifully constructed. Unfortunately, he did have some trouble with the heel having to grind back into the ricasso, which is why the bevel follows all the way through. Next we have Daniel Smith, who did a great YouTube video on his build. Check him out on YouTube. On Instagram, I love the Bowie shape as always. The oak and leaf spring and mild steel construction is all within the parameters and comes out great in the photos. Mark Green from Grumpy Greeny's Forge gave his first attempt at a nice buoy using all scrap materials, leaf spring, mild steel, and I believe it was Tuit from his property. So a very scrapped up buoy and an awesome profile. Next we have Toby Jones, who used file steel San Mai for his blade and an awesome little coffin handled buoy style. I love the little accents of copper, and I also like the fact that the frame is file worked, although it's not super obvious in this photo. We have Brock Baumgartner. Unfortunately, didn't get a lot of detail with this photo, but I believe it's spalted maple for the handle. You've got leaf spring for the blade, mild steel for the guard, and for the butt cap as well. Nice clean profile. Byron Ray from Wolf Dog Armory put forward this beautiful rasp buoy with a mild steel guard and a crown antler handle. I love the overall profile of this, and I love the mean edge to it. The other side looks just as good. Check him out on Instagram for the other photos. Jason Hawley from Fool's Errand Forge, my favorite Instagram handle, made a file buoy with a file guard, which he managed to keep the Wiltshire, Australia on the guard, and also his coffin handle was absolutely pristine. Mark Barrett gave his first try at a Bowie knife, and this one specifically is a guardless, which we don't see a lot of in the Towns Bowie build-off. I was very glad to see a couple of them in this build. The blued blade and the paddock handle look amazing. together, and I really love the poured pewter guard for this one as well. Anthony Older, who's followed me for a very long time, did this awesome rendition of a D-guard buoy. I do love antler handles, and the rasp teeth on this one are absolutely schmick. The profile is amazing as well. He did a fantastic job. I managed to catch Connor's build on TikTok, actually. He's got a rail spike pommel, the engine chain guard, and the leaf spring blade are all really cool. Check him out on TikTok and on Instagram. His stuff is awesome, and I do love how this build came together. Very post-apocalyptic. David Fontaine is another longtime follower of mine from French Guiana, who used some traditional Guyanese rosewood, I believe, in his handle, and it came out super clean. I really love the kind of hunter buoy he went for, which I think is amazing. A lot of people will be familiar with Wendell Budwhite's work. He has top 3'd at least in all of them, I think. This monster buoy was an absolute treasure to watch come together, and I love the post-apocalyptic feel of it. It just fits the theme so well. And then we have Derek Heiss from Heiss Knives, who came together with this really clean kind of gambler's buoy. I really like the fact that he used copper-wrapped wire as a kind of ferrule from his handle to the guard, and it all stays together in this really nice, clean complement. Adam Freeze, another awesome Instagram handle at Iron Wizard Smithy. Another form of gambler buoy, which I really love this kind of gambler buoy style that a few people have gone for. This one manages to stay super clean whilst also keeping some of that kind of scrap aesthetic as well, which I really love. David Korn came out with this awesome, gigantic Muso buoy. The photos do not do it justice, and he hand-poured the guard from old guard cutoffs from other jobs that he'd done. The leaf spring blade, obviously, and the scrapwood handle are awesome. I loved watching this build come together. Now, Nathan from Northern Iron Forge has been in every Townsbury build-off, and he just keeps surpassing himself. This one specifically, the butt cap, is amazing. Please go to his channel and check that out on Instagram. But the Sanmai blade with the wrought iron was awesome as well. Absolutely loved this build. Tyler Johnson, again, went with a wrought iron Sanmai and wrought iron fittings and stuff like that. This one is super clean, almost to the point that it doesn't really fit the aesthetic, but I really do love the overall profile of this, and the spaces especially are a really nice touch. And of course, last but not least, is Bill Thorne, who came up with this amazing rendition of the Searles buoy, or the James Black buoy, the hit hot blued blade with nickel finished lettering. He actually nickel plated the blade, sanded off the nickel plating to then hot blue it. Then it's all nickel silver fittings, and I believe it's purple heart handle as well. It just came together in this beautiful rendition. Obviously, the scrap, it's all made of scrap, but it doesn't look at all like it was. It came amazing in the end. And that is it for this year's Townsbury Build-Off. Thank you to everyone who entered. I had a fantastic time looking at all your builds. Also, massive thank you to my patrons who make this kind of stuff possible. If you want to join Patreon, the link is down in the description below. I hope to see more of you at the Townsbury Build-Off next year. And again, thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.